All right, we are live tonight, joined again by my lovely, beautiful, talented co-host tonight,
Yeah,
Miss Nicole Vegas. How are you?
doing good. Sending love from Las Vegas. Yeah, this 2025. I don't know. It's good for some, bad for others. I'm like trying to tiptoe into it now, cautiously.
I'm starting to feel like, oh man, maybe I'm getting a late start on 2025. I might as well look at 2026 for a starting date.
It's just one of those things where you just don't know. You have things planned and you're trying to go into motion, and then stuff happens, and you're trying to roll through it. But there's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
things happening. I hope that I get to see you and work with you.
No,
Either
I'm hoping to get to Days of the Dead, not this one in Las Vegas, but something in Las Vegas soon. I've been feeling the winter effects of not doing the conventions as much. I finally shaved today, which was like the first time in about a week and a half.
Yeah,
So
we're
I,
kind of bragging, aren't we? In this
yeah.
new
Oh, I forgot to give you something. We forgot your crowd applause.
I didn't know if it was for them.
Now I know there's a special friend of ours who was on the show, closer friend with you that you've worked with quite a bit, a
Yes,
legend of horror. If you'd like to do the
you'll do the
birthday,
honors, John, because you'll be seeing her at a convention coming up
I'm
now.
sure I will. Well, we had her on a few weeks ago. As you guys know, Eileen Dietz, Exorcist,
Yeah.
amazing person, so much fun to have on the show. I can't wait, like you said, to see her at a convention. Big happy 21st birthday to the legendary Eileen Dietz.
Happy birthday, Eileen Dietz. We love you. We love you so much. Can't wait to work with you this year. And just amazing talent for the last 50 something years in showbiz. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Exorcist by chance, go check out the first Exorcist. So,
Yeah, if you haven't seen the new Exorcist now, you need to stop even watching this live and just go watch it now. No,
yeah,
wait till after live.
wait till after. But
Well, you reached out to me and you asked me, and I needed to get something together. And you had these great young filmmakers that you had in mind to come on the show for me to bring on. And of course, I
yeah.
wanted you to co host with me. And they got a film that's coming out this year. And I saw the trailer, Killer Corn. We're going to show the trailer tonight, Killer Corn, by our guest we're pulling up now.
Caleb
We're gonna
Davis.
go with Caleb Davis. Let me get the applause for this man. One of the co-writers, the directors, the director.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm
And
now.
then, and then you guys reached out to me and you wanted to bring on another friend who I know who's been a big part of this project as well, co-wrote with you. And you guys haven't even figured out what his title is yet. So he's the man of a lot, I think,
Yes.
this project.
Yes.
His camera's not working for him, but I
He's
don't know if that's a.
different
But
look.
let's bring him up now, Stefan Krall. Welcome
Oh,
to the
it's
show.
working fine. Hi, Stefan again.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, no, I figured out my title actually. I was the meat man. I was Mr. Lunch. I kept everybody fed,
Oh,
among other things, but it's a pretty important job. Aside from helping write the script, keeping people fed is pretty vital. Got to give a shout out to my mom for that one.
I love when you give a shout out to mom because I have sons and I love them very much and I miss them. They're adults now. Two of them are adults. I still have a child at home, but yes,
Hmm.
mom's name. Let's give a
Laura.
hi, Laura. Raised a good son. Make sure
Oh, thanks.
we're fed. So you must have fed him and took care of him, and he passed it with
Oh
working out
yeah.
because crafty is very important. Transportation is important. Everything. I think so. I got to meet Caleb through Jamie Schmidt,
That's right.
and we shared his trailer, Killer Corn, on the big screen at a theater at Cannery. Is really amazing, really beautiful. And we also shared it through Johnny Sig's talk show, which you can you can share it too as well. I'll send you the link if you didn't get it. I just want to know, how did you start? A little bit about yourself, because I tried to do some research. I was ready to get like one of those private investigators because I was like,
Yeah.
please share a little bit about yourself and how you started and how you guys teamed up.
Yeah, so I mean, we're not very online, so that's probably why you can't find anything. We've also been, directing stuff creating films under pseudonyms and stuff too. So that also doesn't help with building a following. But so Stefan and I originally met through a writers group, and it was in Iowa City here, just kind of a writers workshop style thing. And there was a group of us, kind of hand selected to be, a pretty solid group of writers, whose work we all kind of enjoyed. And then that died. The writers group kind of fell apart for various reasons. And then I kind of co-opted it and converted all my writing friends into filmmakers. I've been making films since I was 11 or 12, very, very early. I went to school for English, but I studied in Prague for a little while, shooting on 16 millimeter. And yeah, I've just kind of been making short films over the years, trying to work towards this larger project. And I mean, specifically for Killer Corn, we shot like eight or nine short films over the course of a year, to just kind of experiment with different styles and try stuff out, try to figure out the right flow of everything before jumping into a feature. So that's a simplified version of it. Do you have anything to add to that, Stefan?
It was too simple for me, so I need more. more. I need more. So when you did these shorts and everything, and what decide for you to do is a horror comedy? What made
I think it was the group of people that we got together. We were good at coming up with these twisted ideas just to make ourselves laugh. And then Caleb, being a filmmaker, was like, I've had this dream to do this for a while, and it was a perfect time to co-opt all of us into, making a dream come true. It was pretty dope. So we started off. It was all so unlikely and surreal to me because I've always imagined I could, make and produce funny stuff, but I've never done it. And then here comes Caleb that actually knows how to execute it. And so we would come up with these scripts and, just get them ironclad and find actors. And then next thing you know, we're on site shooting. We have a guy naked in the woods, that type of thing. Just crazy stuff. Like I said, we
a lot of context there.
Okay, well, yeah, there's a reason we make some films under aliases. It's not pornographic, all right? You got the wrong idea here.
I with everything that I've done in almost 4 years, my mind is very imaginative. So who knows what type of naked? It could be weird expendages for all I know. I don't know. I'm very
emotionally.
It was high art. It was high art.
So how did you find the locations? So you're coming into putting a feature film. What made you take that initiative? Because that's a big one to bite off. Little shorts, yeah, that's work within itself, but to actually do a feature film, what made you just dive into that?
Yeah, I made a promise to myself years ago that I was going to make a feature film by the time I was 25, which is pretty young to be making a feature film typically. But it was just kind of a combination of wanting to just create something big and really kind of put full force effort into this one singular project and see it through to the end. And, it's always been my dream to make a feature film. And we kind of had a big list of film ideas, just kind of spitballing ideas, trying to figure out what would work. And Killer Corn was one that stood out to us from the very beginning. It's just a concept that fits really easily into where we already live in Iowa. And so as far as finding locations and everything like that, it was, it wasn't too challenging to find farms around here to lend us their space to shoot on. It was a combination of family and neighbors and anyone we could get really to let us film there. And
Yeah, and the remarkable thing is that Caleb came to me wanting to make a shot-for-shot remake of The Passion of the Christ. But he said, I've never seen the film, and well, I haven't seen the film, and we both refused to watch it. And so it quickly got derailed from there, and so this is basically our take. Killer Corn is what it is. It became its own thing. Caleb, you've been saying this for a long time. It seems like a film that should have been made already, and we're the ones that got to make it. It's such an archetypal story. It's a family story, and it kind of devolves into this B-grade monster movie. But there's some real themes. As someone who's grown up in the Midwest and with agriculture as a very prevalent part of our culture, it is a real story with some, very schlocky and ridiculous points throughout.
I can't wait to watch it. So when will it be released so I can get my hands on it?
Yeah, hopefully by next fall. That's kind of our goal. We're still pretty early into the post-production process.
Yes, I know that process.
Yeah, a lot of footage to go through, and endlessly praying that there's not going to be some mistake in the footage that wasn't seen at the time.
Well, oh yeah, hi Mary Kate. So there always is going to be mistakes, even when we think we're meticulous on everything and we're covering every ground. There's always going to be something, and then you're going to learn from it, and then not do that for the next one. But then there's always hiccups. There's always something that are like, oh, nobody saw it. Nobody saw things that we had happening too. That I was like, what is going on? So I think keeping your team. It looks like you have a very good team and a good support system. And when you have that and you made your first feature film, the sky's the limit for you and putting yourself out there finally. So I'm so glad, because I was like, I was telling you and Jamie, I was like, you need to market, you need a podcast, you need to put it out there. Everybody that's a part of that set, all the crew, all the cast, all your family and friends should be sharing it, because that you need power in numbers with that. We're so small, independent filmmaking. It's hard enough alone to try to push it out there. So you do need that team behind you.
Yeah,
we'll start blackmailing them pretty soon to do all of that. So I think, yeah, we'll keep doing more and more of that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And like you said, I mean, in my experience, the only true way to learn filmmaking is to do everything wrong first. Time after time, every single element of film, you mess it up first, and then the humiliation of messing it up is so terrible that you make sure to never do it again. It also leads to creative solutions as well. If there is a mistake somewhere, trying to find a clever way to work around it.
So while you're in post-production for this, what else do you have in store now for 2025? I know you're doing this. Is there anything? What? Huh? Are you sharing? Sorry. I'm so worried.
Yeah, we're writing something right now. We're writing our next feature. It's currently called TikTok, and it's about a sort of a demonic grandfather clock that eats people, and it can control time. And so this group of social media influencers gets trapped inside this house with this clock that can control time and keep them trapped in the house, and it's kind of slowly feeding on them.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're about halfway through the script probably right now.
Congratulations on that. So are you more focal on then the terror behind it, the comedy, the gore? What do you feel that you enjoy most to bring to the audience?
I really enjoy finding the perfect balance of comedy and tragedy and horror and just classic scares, and trying to find that balance can be really difficult sometimes. I think with Killer Corn, it would have been really easy to make Killer Corn just kind of a slapstick B movie where there's just, kind of a silly monster, lots of gory kills, and a stringed along plot. You know, I think that's what most people would expect from a low budget corn monster movie.
Well, honestly,
That was my
when I watched your trailer, your teaser trailer, which we can show, I was expecting kind of B movie slapstick, with the title, but it does have a really, it's visually very nice. The sound's really good on it, and it's a darker tone than I would have expected from the title. Let me put it that way. The trailer is really, really good, really well done. And also, Kevin, big shout out to your mom there. My mom's a big part of what I do in Doomsday's Krypt, traveling around with me. So having your mom there to be able to enjoy this journey and experience and taking care of doing motherly things, feeding the people with.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do it without her. So
welcome to the stream, Laura, and welcome everybody else here. And tell you what, why don't we throw on the because we could do it again. We'll throw on the Killer Corn trailer. I got clowns in my head. I love my killer clowns. I got Shorty somewhere back there. But let's play the trailer, and then you guys can explain what went into the trailer, and we can dive a little deeper into things.
Let's do it.
My ears never seen anything like this. Flu, not swine flu, not flu. Hey, right. My bells are okay.
I killed a stranger today.
Awesomeness.
Yes.
Very
Was
cool. Like I said, the trailer really, from the title to the trailer, I was pretty blown away because I just didn't, like you said, you think the B movie, and with Killer Corn, you deal with a lot of indie, and I love the indie. So if it's B, cheesy, corny, thrown together, but when I saw the trailer, I'm like, man, that's a really dark tone. That's really well done.
Yeah.
Not
That's the thing.
It wasn't
that's the thing about this. That's the thing about this group of people we had to make this movie and to help us during the writing process is that we do shit to make us laugh, hence like the Killer Corn. We thought of that as a title, and then Caleb thought of the title and the premise, and then he was like, what if we spell killer with a C? And we were like, that's the dumbest thing ever. We have to do it. But then on top of that, we are story writers, and so make no mistake, it's funny and ridiculous, but it is a tragic movie. It's a tragic plot with real themes to it.
It's really a family drama until the last 20 minutes, and then kind of turns into a slasher and becomes a little more campy. But most of it's kind of a very, very dark family drama leading up to that, with plenty of dark humor in between. But
you got to have those few laughs in there. You got, especially with the name like Killer Corn.
Yeah.
But again, the tone was really serious in the trailer, and I'm excited to see what you guys are going to produce. It was probably one of the most shocking names to trailers that I've seen, and I mean that in a great way. Where sometimes, I'm an '80s kid. I used to see a cool cover for a movie, and you'd rent it and you'd bring it home. It had nothing to do with the movie, and the movie was terrible, but the cover was good. The name is solid. Don't get me wrong; it's a great B movie name. But when I saw the trailer, it's like, man, this is a serious movie. These guys are serious about what they're doing. They got a talented group of people, at least with the trailer, putting it together. And they've really looked at even the small details in the trailer that they added to it, that made it really look professional. Really, well done. Let me just leave it that way. Very, very well done.
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, another thing about the name too is that early on in the pre-production process, we were just trying to brainstorm how we were going to shoot this film, and we met a guy. He's I believe he's a St. Louis filmmaker that now lives in Los Angeles, And he was kind of talking us into hiring him as a consultant. Is that right, Caleb? He would fly out at his own expense and eat up a big portion of our budget to have like some creative say in the process, and then he could get us this minimum guarantee deal with a distributor.
Yeah.
And one of the first things he said was, "Okay, we're gonna lose the name. That's for sure." That was the first red flag. The second thing that was really funny, he was like, "Now just give me a ballpark of your budget. Don't be embarrassed if it's like 500,000 or something." If
What is he talking about?
he's like, "Don't be embarrassed. It's okay." And we were like, "It's 5." He's
Yeah.
like, "Million?"
5
We're
million?
like, $5,000. We have $5,000 to make this movie.
Was he a
And,
fraud scam? Is that what you're trying to say? Like he seemed like he was
No, he was legit, but
he was legit? Oh.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, it was it's my first feature film. I don't want to be giving concessions on my first feature film.
Exactly.
You don't want to sell your soul at least a third film.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we got 3 films? Oh, okay.
I'm joking.
Yeah, that'll be Killer Corn, Son of Corn, spelled CON.
Killer Corn, soul's been sold. No, but I think I respect that with indie filmmakers. You know, if you get a chance to really express yourself with your writing and what you're doing, and it's really, I mean, you want the money, you want, but you want the respect of what you're doing, and you'd rather make or break it with your story coming and unfolding with you and Stefan. How you guys wrote it instead of changing it all around, and it becomes a semblance of what you wrote and not even close to what you had imagined to do. And this way, at least you're able to do it the way you guys want to do it. And the opportunities will be out there if you're good at what you're doing. I got a feeling after seeing the trailer, you guys got a good grasp on what you're doing, and you have a good team of writers. Like you guys really put, you guys did the writing group. That's how you guys met. So you guys are definitely passionate about what you do in that sense. And that's huge. I mean, if you can't have a good script beginning to end, what are you going to do? And it's cool you have somebody you can go back and forth with. You don't need a studio exec or somebody already telling you got to change the name of the title as soon as they come in. Right there is a red flag saying you ain't going to be.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I love what you're doing, but we're going to take over. We're going to do it our way now. So
yeah.
And having making sure to have a really tightly written script, I mean, benefited us not only in just trying to create a good movie, but it also helped us find people for crew and cast, people who normally wouldn't work for free or almost free, who liked the idea and liked the script enough that they wanted to come on board. And so that was really great.
Yeah, it is insane what we pulled off for $5,000. I think like 1,000 of that was groceries too. So really it was like $4,000 that we made this movie on. It's pretty wild, and we have a team of people that we need to thank for it. And one noteworthy one was we had a number of locations fall through at the last second, which is kind of a big deal. So we actually had a lovely woman also named Laura from the county of Iowa County, and she helped us scout new locations. And she was like very conservative Baptist, and I'm sure if she had any idea what kind of film we were making, she would have stayed far away from it. But bless her heart, she did help us out a lot,
Yeah, somehow we convinced the county to start working for us. So that was another.
Present the title as Christian Corn.
Christian Corn, yeah.
That'll be the
No, it's okay.
So when someone's starting off their first feature film, and you gave a little indicators of what to look out for, funding's really hard, but pulling a team of people that actually want to help out, you'll know, because they're not like, oh, I want to get paid before anything else, and they're not really listening to your storyline or the days you want to film or what ways they could help out. And when you're doing independent film, it really is stepping up and helping out. It's not a payday. Paydays are on SAG sets, on these big Warner Brothers and Paramount Pictures. This is to show that things can get done independently and to help other people. But there's a lot of people that I had things too where someone made a contract for me and Sean, and he wanted us for $2,000 to sign away rights for India and China for our film. We're reading it, just like, what is this? So there's going to be a lot. The more you do, the more people you have to watch out for in showbiz, unfortunately. But
I'm sure.
at least you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we haven't learned that the hard way yet.
Oh,
Hopefully we will.
We've only met some really cool people so far, like Jamie, who introduced us to you. He's a great dude that helped us out.
Yeah, Jimmy was an actor in one of our previous short films, and so that's how we met him.
That's really good. See, I haven't met you guys in person, but like I said, I don't. You've been in it a lot longer. You had a passion. Mine was 4 years, and I had those ifs. I'm like, oh, maybe it's not for me. This is too. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of layers. But you do have to find that right team, because if you get people that aren't in your corner and they're sabotaging you or they're trying to take from you, and you have such little to begin with, it makes it very hard. So you guys are very fortunate. So whatever team that you have, make sure you stick together. Anybody else coming in? Oh no, send them to your mom. Laura, be like, let her.
Laura's gonna be she'll be the one to put her foot down. She'll let you guys know. That's what moms do best.
Yeah, they do. She does. Yeah, and to your point, this production we undertook was ambitious, but it was also stupid and insane. We shot the whole thing in 9 consecutive days. And so we had people coming from the region, but also we had an actress coming from Minnesota. We had people driving from 2 hours away, 4 hours away. We had a guy drive 9 hours. Kenny, that was in the film. He drove 9 hours from southern Indiana to be in our film and hang out with us during the week. And we had a house to put everyone up in, but it wasn't ideal. We had one mini fridge for the whole house. It was sketch, but 9 days in, we were working like 18, 20 hours. I think our longest day was 22 hours we were shooting till 4 a.m, and we got 2 hours of sleep and got back up at 6 and shot the last day. And everyone was like drained and kind of pissed, but we got it done, and we still like each other. So
move past it. Just tell your mom that one needs extra food today. Just it is hard. And I've been on sets, even big ones like sex sets, 18-hour days. That's how it is. It's like a lot of hurry up and wait. And there's things that happen. Locations fall through, things with lens issues. There's weather can happen too that you can't have control over. Snowstorms and the desert, like what's happening? We have a lot of things that go on. But I think it's really cool that you guys were able to find each other and work with each other to make this feature film. And I know there's a lot of people that are in store for making their first feature, as far as I know, this year. There's a handful of people that I know. So if there's anything that you can give them, please, what would you give them for a heads up on what to look out for and what to do for their first feature?
There's a lot of things.
Well, how important was the short films for you leading into making the
important,
the full film? I mean, how many of the team, the people that you have on your team now, to make the films that have come from these short films? Now, as a filmmaker, I think that would be something really important that you guys did, was these short films to lead to the full length feature film that you're doing now.
And my approach with every single one of those short films was to take a different approach to each one, experiment with different styles, different shooting styles, different ways of lighting, different cameras, really just using it as an opportunity to experiment a bunch and try to figure out what works and what doesn't. And also, I mean, for us, it helped a lot to get everyone into the flow of working as a production on a project and finding that right balance of responsibility and communication. When someone's not used to working on film sets, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and kind of sit waiting to try and see what's needed next. And so it gave us the opportunity to get everyone a little more comfortable with that environment, and also to get comfortable with the insane working hours
Yeah, that's the remarkable thing is that Caleb, you took this writers group full of people that have never held a camera before or made a movie in any form. And these short films, these 9 short films we did last year were sort of boot camp, a training leading up to this feature film. And it was really effective. Even, at the feature film, I would say 90% of the crew was untrained, but we still made it happen. We had enough background experience to get it done and to have some idea of what we need to do.
Very cool.
One piece of advice I could give is you have to be really resourceful. You have to reach out to people. You have to reach out to Iowa County and ask if there's any way they can help you to find a location. You have to reach out to all these different peoples and just think outside the box on how you're going to make all this come together, because there's so many moving parts you have to orchestrate.
And you have to be really driven too. I mean, it's like, I think most people would face our 22-hour shoot day, and by the time it gets to be 3 a.m, want to just say, oh, let's pause here. We'll just shoot. We'll finish the scene another day, or we'll push it off. We'll do reshoots. I think a lot of people fall into that, but it's just finding a way to compartmentalize and just strive through it, as insane as it is. I mean, every filmmaker that I knew who I told about our plan for this production, 10 days back to back shooting a feature. They all thought it was impossible, especially for how little money we had. They were like, they didn't believe it would be possible. And I wasn't sure either, but I was going to do everything I could to try and make it happen. And we did. It was miserable, but we did it,
Truthful, and I like that you're authentic and organic in the truth, because what you're saying is very truthful, and you hit the nail on the head with a lot of the sets. So thank you for being very truthful, because a lot of people, for some reason, think it's going to be easy, cozy, comfortable. None of it. Nothing. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's going to make
absolutely
things you never thought and felt before. It's rough.
And Stefan and I, we come from doing manual labors for years. I mean, Stefan still works manual labor full time, and I for years and years.
Office manhandler? What kind of? I think that's the worst job I ever had.
Construction, lumber.
Yeah, that's rough too. Yes.
But I think that kind of helped too, with just like the dreadful physicality of it. It's not our first time being out in the summer heat for.
Rather do 20-hour days in a film set than 14 hours doing, the blue collar work. I did it all my life.
Yeah.
You can get 14 hours in even a floor a day, and say landscaping or roofing or something like that. There isn't much you can't do in a day.
No, a film set is the luxury compared to doing 20 hours of that.
I think so.
Yeah, well, it tells you guys up. I mean, you had the toughness in you where, you have to push those hours. You need somebody who's going to be able to lead and say, hey, listen, we don't have time to do it later. We got to do it now. And we got this amount of time, and you're working. Let's get to go. Let's go.
Yeah. And when you have a house full of people and everyone's counting on you to make this movie, it really is. It's no longer in your hands. It doesn't really matter how tired you are, because I mean, for me, I was like faking it the whole time until I was in the moment. You know what I mean? I thought it was very unlikely that it was going to happen. And so when it came time where people are asking me questions and I have to give directions, it's like, okay, this is real. I'm tired. And I was really sick that week too. But, you got to have some drive and just make it happen, because it's not about you anymore. You're there making art. That's the best thing ever. So even when it sucks, it's still pretty awesome, Yeah,
you guys really hit the nail on the head with everything that you shared. So anybody, they need to watch this just for the heads up of the long hours, because you can tell them that, but they don't realize in the conditions, or if you get sick, it doesn't matter. You still have to do it, or you're going to disappoint a lot of people. People came out of town, they're flying in, they're opening up their house, whatever they're doing. So it's not, you're right. It's not just about you anymore. It's the team as a whole. So good job.
Yeah, and you have to think too, like you're creating an immortal piece of art that's gonna last. It's gonna outlive us. And so, what is 10 days of suffering compared to something that'll last? Something I'll be thinking about on my deathbed. And still having wonderful memories of.
Forever. You'll have it forever. And that's the thing too. When people invest in films, you can invest in trips, which is nice too. Or you can buy, this is something you can always have forever, a copy of it. If it's finished completely, you'll have it. It's pretty cool to say, I've been in this film. I went through this. I had this character role, the character range, being on crew side, because you're there before the talent and they're there after the talent leave. It is a lot of moving pieces. And sometimes you have to wear many hats. Because when you have that team, I mean, I had everything. I'm like, oh, I'm this and I'm this. And you guys also know, you all shared something. Even John, everybody knows how much work now it takes. And I like talking to people that know the work ethic and the drive and your mindset to like, man, this is like, it'll beat you down, but you're going to get back up because you got to finish it. You may have a movie, but I must finish this film. And there could be all these things going wrong. I don't know if there's a movie on that.
Well, like you guys said, 20 hours, you're doing that kind of day and 10 days. And like you said, it's a grind. It's tough. But if you didn't do those 20-hour days and you weren't able to get the film done the way you wanted in the time frame you were able to do, you would have had a life of regret of, I wish I did this, wish I did this. If we could have done this, but we didn't. We didn't do that extra hour. And you guys did do those things. So you don't have that life of regret, because the last thing you want to do is regret. That's a lot harder than those 10 days work and going, man, this movie could have been so good if we just pushed that much harder for those extra.
Yeah.
Hours. You guys did that, so it'll show.
Yeah, we still have to get through the editing phase, so we could still be in for a world of hurt. There's still so many lessons we have to learn in the editing phase.
Well, you got it on film, though. You got it on film.
Yeah,
so
yeah. God, can you imagine?
Oh my God,
that'd be horrific.
Too, and also the sound, because when you don't do things right, guess what? QC, if you ever get it picked up for distribution, oh yeah, I'm just letting you know, that's another beast. So you think you get all this in post-production and then maybe get fortunate enough to get distribution, or people, if they can't get picked up, I found out they submit it through film festivals, and that's how they get their awards and stuff, because they want to get recognized. Usually when you get distribution, unless you ask permission, because now it's their film to showcase, they don't want you to put it through film festivals. Things I learned so far previous year. So that's why. So hopefully you get picked up for distribution. If not, then showcase it through film festivals. So there's people there that maybe pick it up for distribution. But yeah, you think all that's done and then wait for distribution. Just when you think it's never done. And then if you get fortunate enough, you'll have a red carpet event. And then if you get really, really fortunate, people will invite you. I didn't get invited yet, but if I get invited and I have my the talent and stuff, I really want to showcase the talent for all their hard efforts and everything to the conventions where they can have like a fan base if it ever goes that route. I mean, you never know. It's keep going. You don't get to stop just because you finished one. It's like more.
Right. You hope it gains momentum. I guess I have a question. If we go the film festival route and choose to do that right off the bat, does that disqualify us from some distribution deals?
I can't John? I never went that route. I
don't know enough with that. I know from talking to several filmmakers, different avenues, that I don't want to do film festivals because it might take away from doing this, or I want to have it in film festivals, so I don't want to do this. So there's a lot of things. I definitely look into it before you jump to a distributor or jump into a film festival. Ask some people who experienced each one and maybe what film, because all film festivals aren't the same. There's different film festivals, and you want to enter it into the right ones that, say film festivals is a big part of their convention. They want to really promote the films and doing that, because there's other conventions they'll have them, but it doesn't get the attention. There's a lot of different aspects. I mean, I see from my end doing a lot of conventions and stuff of the pros and cons to doing it that way. I see a lot of pros, but there are definitely cons. But it's worth talking to other filmmakers who have done each one of those routes. I know you have experience in it, Nicole, as well, but there's always more to learn. There's always more to learn with it.
I can't believe how much I learned in this last year. And I just didn't understand the process because I never made it to that point. And now I made it to a point. I'm like, oh my God. And then there's more. I'm like, there's more. Like, when does it ever end? I don't think
scratched the surface.
Right.
No, but try for distribution first and make sure you look over all the paperwork because that costs. We had to put money into the distribution. Eventually, we make money back. Who knows? I will let you know. I will keep you posted when Gravitas Ventures, they changed the date for the release, which I was kind of glad because I had the red carpet afterwards. What's the point of having it after? Like I wanted it before, so it was supposed to be the 10th. So I'm gonna probably email them like, "Oh, Happy New Year! When's this happening?" Because a lot of people pre-ordered it. So I need to know what's going on with that, and I don't know how legit they are and how good everybody is because everybody says. The distribution can get you too. So go with whatever you pull your team together and go over all the paperwork first. Get distribution's the best. And if you can't, then go. I think American Film Movie, AFM, was here in the Palms recently. And that's where people go. They pay money and they talk to people that are distributors. I didn't do that because we got fortunate, but at the same time, there's too many layers and everything. If you ever do SAG, see non-union, which I like, is there's no rules. It's a non-union. I love the no rules. So if people get confused on this, and they're like, "Oh, SAG, we have to eat every 6 hours." I do feed people a hot meal, and they have snacks and all this food and everything like that. But now I have to make another rule because people are like taking the free for all. They're putting it in their suit, putting it in their car. I'm like, oh, that's like stealing. So now I have to safeguard. There's always going to be something you're going to have to safeguard. What's another thing? People not showing up like they're supposed to do. They left and they missed their scene and they want to be in another scene. That can't happen either in this time. It just can't. We have to have more sounded rules to safeguard. So there will be rules for my non-union with Sean because there's too many things that were happening that were getting out of control, and you have to protect your film at all costs. And your funds because you only have so many funds. I mean, if we were Warner Brothers, who knows? Even Warner Brothers makes $1 million films and they scrap it. I've been on these sets that they didn't even finish it. I was like, oh, you spent all these millions. Imagine they wasted all those millions for what? At least you're utilizing whatever money you have, and you're going to play it very safe because the more you do and the bigger you get, more people want to be on board. But you have to be really careful because people send you contracts trying to take your whole movie over. I'm like, what is this? And Sean's like, so you have to be careful. That's all. With everything you do going forward, and make people sign a contract that they have to, if you ever have a lot of cast, we had a lot of cast. We had like up to 80 people for one day. I was like, I'm going to go nuts. But am I nuts, John? Am I probably
We're all a little nuts. That's why we do
all
what
a little
we
bad here. But there's a fine line. So I do talent release forms.
Yeah.
You have to have talent release forms, crew release forms, property release forms. Make sure you have your insurance with your LLC. LLCs will help you do write-offs. So make sure you have that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? I feel like I'm trying to give the covering. I know you guys have been in it for a while, so I feel the next step would be good distribution. But if it can't pass the Q&C, like the sound, the color grade, it has to match also your the trailer. So the trailer for ours was different than the movie, so it has to match. They want something that's smooth, and they didn't want any killings in our trailer. So we had to take out all the fun stuff. I was like, boring. Boring.
That sounds kind of terrible. That sounds, you can see how it's overwhelming. It's so much information, when this is your first time and you're just going through all this for the first time. I mean, we came to find out recently that, like, from a legal standpoint, we made Killer Corn all wrong. We should have formed an LLC for it separately, and then separate from our production LLC. It's like, what? How the fuck are we supposed to know that?
Unless you talk to
way.
Yeah.
That's how it usually happens.
A lot of learning lessons, but that is important to know. And I told people that have any kind of business and that have an LLC, so they can go after the LLC and not you as a person.
Yeah.
And then I also have contracts that, you know, if it's for Desert Fiends and for Skates of Hell, I had it where you're signing that if you get hurt or injured or something happens, we're not responsible. Like, it's because people wander off. Maybe they want to play with rattlesnakes out here. You know, they do some crazy stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you in the road just standing there? There's people, they do really, and you think you see it all, and then you're going to see more. And then eventually you're going to be like, I've seen that already. Or you're not going to get, I feel complacent. I don't feel like much gets me rattled, like in that aspect of, I can't even share some things right now because we're live, maybe behind the scene, but there's a lot to look for, and you have to be careful. And I am proud of you guys for being authentic and sharing, because that is real. So there's people like, oh yeah, it's going to be easy. No, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard, and you're going to have that mindset, and you're just going to get up and do it, whatever it takes to get that finished, because you're responsible as your team. You're going to push forward. You just have to be careful with who you take with you or who wants to jump on when all the work's done. Because when all the work's done, people will be like, hey, I want to be on this. I want to be in this. Or you start getting more scene and stuff. What's happening? Is this another trailer? What are you doing?
I was just putting the trailer. I was getting ready to play again.
Oh, is this like a cue?
I was trying to confuse you. I want to really test the blondness out there, Nicole.
Yeah, let's share that again. Let's share that. But it's really important because there's a lot of people that are new, or they're taking on more than they have ever before in any direction. And I think it's so important for them to, because I didn't get it. I didn't get anybody like holding my hand. I had to learn the hard way with everything. I'm like, what is this and why is this happening? And I wasn't going with the flow. There's a flow, and guess what? The flow changes all the time. Learn to go that direction then. You can't go with the same flow. I'm learning to, wherever the flow's taking me, because I used to be resistant. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. This is changing to, my background is different. So going into what I did and then coming into the movies was very overwhelming to me. I'm like,
Yeah. You got to adapt. But to be fair, Nicole, if I see a snake on set, I'm picking that thing up for sure.
snake?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I don't think you will.
I'm gonna poke it. I don't remember. I mean, I think I signed something on Killer Corn, but I don't know. I could have picked up a snake.
You know what? Fine, pick up a snake, and if you die on the set because you signed a release form, I'm going to film you in it. There'll be a really awesome real life death scene because you'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple. We had a couple sketchy moments actually. In the trailer, you see a horse. And that's actually a blind horse. It has no eyes in its sockets. And Caleb, what's that horse's name? He's such a sweet horse, sweet little guy.
Oh, Jojo the horse.
Jojo the horse. Yeah, we had a trainer there with us, but we still got to get involved with this, skittish blind horse, and it went well, but it was kind of dicey,
Yeah, I mean the first day of our shoot, I was wrestling this blind horse, into the shot, trying to get it in the right position, and yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
I know. Imagine if it makes it big and that horse is like something people want to take pictures with, like a picture frame with the horse that's blind. You never know. You never know what picks up from your movie. It seems very interesting. I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I know you want to share the trailer, John.
Yeah.
I know. I don't want to circle back around.
No, I'm happy. I got it all set for us to watch.
Yes.
Check it out one more time here. Get her going.
All my years of everything like this. I've bird flu, I've swine flu, I've bovine. Nothing touches fish. Right. There might be that.
Thank you, a stranger to me.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
I like how you captured the eyes when the guy was looking up, and the eyes and the grin. I really like that. Was very captivating. And then the girl that was behind the wood, separated, because you're showing the fear. I like that capturing. So you did really well with capturing those moments to pull people in too. So they did very well, and you did.
It was one of the first shots that I thought of when we first started writing it. So that opening shot with the light coming through the slats on their eyes.
Yeah. Both those actors in the scenes you mentioned, they did such a good job. But man, you're gonna hate those characters. They're the worst. They're just the terrible people.
Well, you gave me expectations. I hope they're the worst of the worst, and I'm like, yeah, I because that builds a fan base too for people that can't stand certain people, or they can reside and they can have sympathy for other character roles and stuff like that. So good.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. Like, give me something that makes me like, wow, that was, because I've seen
I want to be attached to characters, whether I really, really like them or really, really hate them. So, to really hate them is always fun too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
For you guys, I just want to say thank you so much. Also, do you have an IMDb page?
We don't yet.
No, I just want to make sure that I wasn't like trying to like not find it the right way, because I've been a little off for a couple of months of discombobulated.
How about crowdfunding? Are you still running any crowdfunding, Indiegogo or?
No, we didn't do any crowdfunding. I'm resistant to crowdfunding just because of the.
Too hard for too many people, and you want people certain.
Well, not necessarily the difficulty, but just asking strangers to send their money.
Your comfort zone.
It's
it's
not
how you want to do it, which I respect that.
It's something I'm sure we'll look into in the future. Maybe with our next film, we'll see. But
and instead, this movie was filmed at great personal expense to both of us. So maybe we'll ask strangers for money in the future. But
that's the great thing about a full-length feature, though. Now people can get a chance once this gets released and see what you guys are capable of. And then if you do decide to go the crowdfunding way, you have that reputation. You have that where, hey, I want to see what they're doing next. I'd like to invest into this next independent movie. I mean, I know, like, we'll use Terrifier as an example. The people who invested in that early, they're doing pretty well with the investment there. And I don't think a lot of regrets to it. So a lot of those were crowdfunded. So it can happen, but having that experience, having that first full-length feature film to your credentials, kind of like, all right, well, we did this, and people being able to see it really encouraged them to start donating and supporting in their own way, knowing you guys set up to do this movie. You're getting it done. You're getting it produced. You're getting it out there. We want to help and support. And that's where a lot of fans come from.
And that was my thought process too. I was thinking, let's try to show what we can do with almost nothing. And if we can achieve something that punches way above its weight class for the resources we had, then that becomes a really great example. If we do end up going to other people to try and seek funding, now we have a pretty strong example of how, we did this, with this small amount of money. Imagine what we could do with 5 times that amount or something like that.
Right. Yeah. We actually applied for a creative grant as well. And we didn't get it this round. It was for $5,000, but there's always another grant around the corner that, they will give money to projects like these. Maybe not projects like Killer Corn specifically. I don't want to downplay it. There's some pretty gnarly plot points and lines in it. There's some pretty over the line things. So I don't know. Grants are another source, but how much do they vet what they're giving money to? I guess that's the question. Does it have to be completely PC? You know,
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd just go in with the basics with it. And, there could be ideas that you added to the movie that you didn't really know about until you made it. You went with what you felt as filmmakers, what would be the best for your movie to be done and the best way for it to be seen. So, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
It started
Creativity.
I mean,
yeah. On the grant application, we were trying to spin the movie as like a social commentary, which it is. It is a social commentary, but it's not a documentary.
Yeah, I mean, really, the whole film's supposed to be an allegory for the very real chemicals being used in cornfields, farm fields around here. Iowa has the either second or first fastest growing cancer rate in the country, and a lot of it they think probably has to do with all the pesticides and fertilizers being used. And
That's
so
exactly right.
killer corn is really just it's an exaggerated version of that.
And also what big agriculture is doing to small family farms and how they sort of crumble from within as they try to hold themselves up. It's a very real and deeply sad thing that I've witnessed. And glyphosate, I mean, Caleb and I have glyphosate, Roundup weed killer deep in our blood. We probably pee it out every single day, as does everyone in Iowa. So if that's something that's relevant to you, this story is definitely worth at least $5,000 in grant money. It's worth grant money, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, but there's a lot of ways now that you can show that you can complete a feature film. I mean, it really does speak volumes. I just suggest having a group page for it so people can follow you and start building support that way.
Jamie has actually volunteered. Yeah.
Group page, a group killer corn group page.
Yeah, we made one on Facebook. We haven't. Jamie made it, and he's kind of starting it up right now. We have to organize it a little more. But
I did join it. Yeah, you guys. It seems like you guys just started, but you guys have been busy doing a lot of other things. You take on a lot of responsibilities as filmmakers and stuff, and sometimes, even though that is really important, the marketing, the advertising, having the page, I'd say grab some people that you trust in your group and let them kind of maintain it and run that for you. With you guys being as busy as you are, I'm sure you got plenty of people, maybe some of the actors or actresses who were in it. They can get there and you can update it and let them do the work for you, and you can focus on the things you need to focus on.
yeah.
Hey, there it is. I don't think I'm even in that group yet.
They blocked you from it. They didn't tell you though.
Dude, am I not invited to the group?
When did you start this? Oh, the 20. Let me see. See, I always like to. Oh, you started November 18th. I always look at that stuff. So I'd like the first one.
Yeah.
So you got to get your mom's picture. You get her in the group too. She can post a lot of the pictures from behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. No spoilers. You don't want that.
They're probably pictures of me just looking absolutely stupid.
or sick and tired. Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. Oh my God.
But the marketing is huge. Or not for you guys. I feel like it is. I feel you need to really put yourself out there. You show you got it. You have a good team. You have ambition. You're very innovative, very creative. So share it with others that also enjoy supporting people that have that talent in showbiz.
Yeah, we are lacking, Caleb. Stop using aliases.
Yeah, man, you got to let your name be out there. Let people know who you are.
Just
whether it's maybe an over-the-top movie that's just something, but it shows your credentials. It's on your resume of what you do, and people get to know
all
you.
Those shorts you did too. I make the IMDb, and because people click on that stuff, or they start following somebody they like from your movie, and that's what is they do that stuff. Or when they get added, they also then check, and it's more of a networking thing. And as far as I know, for most of it, it's legit. Because if someone does something that's fraudulent on there, they will be banned forever. So I don't know. I like that. I got a lot of emails through IMDb. They came across my page, or they saw what I did, or they needed help. They needed information because they were new, or they've been in a long time, but they haven't done much work. So I'm like, you better Sean C. Phillips says, "Get your cheeks in motion." Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been slacking on social media and promoting. I'm glad Jamie's here to kind of kick us. He did a really good job with his movie, but yeah, neither of us are online enough. That's one area we need to kind of ramp it up, especially as we're editing and getting this movie closer to release. Marketing can't be overstated, I think. I learned something crazy. What movie was it? Was it some movie like Dumb and Dumber was made for $2 million and they spent $20 million on marketing? I learned that and I was like, oh my God, we don't have any more money right now. There's other things that need done first. But,
do that paying for marketing. I've never done those paid for advertisements, but I might. Because I'm now working with one of the main producers. She's gonna be new. I'm gonna give him a crash course in it too. I was like, he knows so. But he was on a film that I was working on, and he did it through the advertisement. He typed in something, and it popped up through that area. So there might be something to it. So I might try it. I'm not used to the paid advertising, but I know they have a lot of that on Facebook because they limit me when I share. So if I ever share, I'm banned for like a week. I'm like, what? They didn't even tell me. No community standards, nothing. They just banned me. They're like,
they really do that?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, well, that sucks. But there's all sorts of free advertising out there. Like the Facebook group is a big one. God forbid we get TikTok. Girlfriend's forbidden me from getting TikTok. So, Caleb, you're going to have to bite the bullet. And
it has to be used.
I always tell people too, I'm out at a lot of conventions, and I tell all my movie making friends, if you guys want me to put flyers on the tables, and I'm all over usually. I'll be back on the road in March again. I don't think I'll be doing anything January or February, but I mean, we're on the road pretty consistently. So if you ever have flyers or something you want to put on there, and that goes for any of the other filmmakers that I know out there, happy to put them on a Doomsday's Krypt table.
Yeah.
Great. That'd be wonderful.
Yep, Ashley,
that'd be sick, John.
Ashley put, join as many online communities as possible related to your genre. Even if it's not, there's tons of film community. There's tons that want to connect. They just don't know to connect with you, or they feel that they want to be part of the next one, hopefully, or whatever they're doing. It's just sharing, or you just have to market. It's really a team effort. It's not just you two. It's everybody that's on that set. Everybody that enjoys indie filmmakers. It's everybody is a team helping putting it out there.
There's a lot of the community too that are really supportive, and you get those right fans. They'll sit there and they will support the hell out of you. They will show the hell out of you. They will get it all over the place for you. There's a lot of good people out there that will do it. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep that marketing in mind because it looks great. The trailer looks fantastic. The marketing is going to be key. Get those people to watch this movie. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the next year, we'll hit the gas pedal.
So maybe eventually down the road you get a shirt, Killer Crew. I could see it. I can picture that.
Yeah. Marketing and advertising. Gotta do it all.
We're gonna sell overalls.
I grew up in the country for
sell the corn. I mean, honestly, it's a good gimmick right there. All pieces of corn.
Yeah, there'll be
corn.
Yeah, or boiled corn. We'll only serve boiled corn at the premiere. No popcorn allowed. Everyone's got to come.
They're okay to handle that.
Have the corn with a knife in his hand, stabbing the popcorn kernels.
So many ideas.
Oh yeah.
I'm always like, I was watching. I went and saw movies for 8 hours straight, and some of them did horror, but there was like no like gore in it. So I'm in my seat because I like that stuff. People next to me, I'm like, where's the stabbing? Where? Stab him! Blood! And they're like looking at me. It wasn't my type of horror. It wasn't. Maybe it was more suspense, but I like that. I like more like the terror and then the gore. Like that's what you get for walking into the corn, or that's what you get for going into that barn. You knew you deserve that stab to death. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, they do. They do deserve it. Everyone deserves what they get.
You deserve to pretend die. I guess because I'm on the phone a lot and I'm talking about these kills are setting things up, and my hair lady, she's like, Nicole, people are looking at you. I'm like, I was like, pretend. It's pretend, people. It's not real. You gotta know your situational awareness.
It's a movie.
It's a movie, dude. Relax.
you ever get covered in blood? And I had to go pick up some food at like Costco, and I have a hood. I couldn't get everything out of my glass. And like, they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "This pretend blood. I'm okay. This is all pretend, people." I had to like announce it. And I brought my son afterwards because he got beat up. He had a black eye in the scene. And I forgot. I went to Walgreens and they're looking at it. I go, "Oh, what crap. You know how you forget?" I'm like, that's makeup.
You don't have to deal with this kid every day like I do.
Yeah.
You want one to match?
Yeah. They would call it. I'd be done.
Oh, we had the same situation. One of our actresses was covered in blood from a scene, and and my neighbors were driving by and just horrified, you know. And so,
it happens, though, but people might, you're filming in progress. I'm filming. This is pretend. Obviously, I wouldn't be all happy covered in blood unless it looked like I killed someone. And then
I really didn't like
it's not even nobody's blood. This is fake. But people don't know. And especially if it's not a place. Vegas is starting to pick up more now for filmmaking. But where you live, is there a lot of films being made?
not really.
So if you're covered in blood, they might.
No. One of our short films called Neanderthal Surgeon. The only good place we could do it was this very public park, and it's a short film, but this Neanderthal goes up to his buddy who's lying on his back groaning, and he takes a rock. The long story short, he takes a rock and disembowels the guy and like rips his guts out and stuff. So we had all these practical effects, and that was the perfect opportunity for like a whole Boy Scout troop to walk by, right?
It was worse.
Well, they could practice for their next badge, survival technique.
I mean, this was on a Saturday too, and there was just this cool field trip that rounded the corner to see us massacring this caveman. So,
yeah, and to make matters worse, our old friend that was with us was like, "Everyone stay back." He's like causing a scene. Stay back, everybody.
Oh my
God.
God.
Dude. Just but totally changed the town.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what?
They all enjoyed it. They thought it was cool. Yeah.
Good. You're shaking it up where you are, and you're gonna push it out more so people can connect with you. And I want to say thank you, John. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for being part of John's Doomsday Krypt talk show, and I hope you get on more.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'm like,
yeah, thank you, John. Thank you, Nicole.
Anytime. It's always great to have filmmakers on and discuss their films and their ideas and their upcoming projects. So keep us updated on it. I'll post the trailer. I just wanted to make sure with you guys, I'll share out the trailer in Doomsday's Krypt. You guys make sure to support these guys. Follow what they do. They have the Killer Corn on Facebook. You just CILLER Corn. You can find it pretty easy. I know they're going to be adding some stuff to that page and keeping everybody updated. And I wish you guys the best. Like Nicole said, I'd say research every decision you make because you don't want to make the wrong one. Nicole's always there for a phone call. I'm sure she's always happy to give you an advice.
I'd be like, what? You did what?
Yeah, ask her before you do it. You'll get scolded by Nicole. You do not want to make
I don't scold. I don't think I don't know how I am when I'm in
She
that.
gives out beatings. She gives out beatings.
When I'm on set, I just like, are you good? Are you good? Oh, good. Okay. And I go on to the next. I'll take out garbage. I'll be cleaning out.
I heard about her kid's black eye. It wasn't makeup, guys.
Right? You need help. I'm like, I don't have time to tell you what to do. Just do it. I'm like, I'm taking out the garbage. I'm like, man, I was joking around about somebody pooping on the seat. Someone did poop on the seat. It's like, who?
Oh my God, dude.
Who pooped?
Who pooped
on that seat? So, it happens. There's things that happen. You got to roll with it. And, unless there's a safety issue and hopefully nothing ever happens and things do happen, just be innovative and figure out what to do so it doesn't happen for the next one. And there's gonna be some creativity. I have my thing going on. I am doing Indiegogo on Tuesday, so I can't overshare it now because I can't get banned for this Tuesday Indiegogo for Desert Fiends 2. Which now that I warmed up and I have an idea of what it needs to do and be, and Sean and Ethan, just the creativity comes from the director and writer. I am not that, but I do like certain things like my boob get ripped out or puke with real worms in my mouth because it's no rules. That's on Skate to Hell. I can't wait for all this stuff to come out. I'll be like, yeah, that was, why would you do that? I'm like, I don't know, because I was inspired by Drag Me to Hell.
It's a good
Yeah.
I like creativity, and it seems like you guys have a lot of it. So I can't wait to see what else is going on. And where's that short that I can look for? That
It actually got pulled off of YouTube. We have to put it back. We're just gonna keep putting it back up. There's things
That's
we need to
dragon
tweak.
right there.
Yeah, it was too gnarly for YouTube. I mean, like I said, it's a tasteful amount of nudity. It's nothing. I mean, it's okay. I did just have a revelation though. How about this for a new name for Killer Corn? Passion of the Corn.
There you go.
Passion of the Corn.
you're gonna do another, like a sequel of it? A sequel?
Yeah.
Killer
Yeah.
Corn 2, Passion of the Corn.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. That's the answer I needed.
Oh boy, there's such, I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah,
And
we'll
just go back up, send it to me. I'd like to see the disembowelment of
we're gonna be uploading more short film to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is called Heretic. So if people want to follow us there, Heretic, Heretic.
that sounds about right. My eye started to twitch because I drank a red light.
Pull it up. Handle it.
It's not wearing off. My red line is not, so I ordered it special order because they pulled it. It's like $200 I spent on this case of red line. I had a little bit, half of what is posted, and I could feel it still. You just saw me earlier. I was like, and this red line energy drink. Yeah, I hope it wears off soon because I don't think I'm gonna simmer down yet.
I don't think those are legal in Iowa.
Oh, they are still legal everywhere. Just discontinue it. So now they put it on eBay. So I'm an energy drink. That's my thing. And chocolate and burgers. So I like cows.
Monster owes me.
Monsters, nothing. Those don't.
They owe me.
Nothing. They would do nothing for me. I'd be like, is this water?
Well, they don't do nothing for me either. I think I've come
Everyone
to
knows
business.
this. If you could do everything all natural, stay away from energy drinks because I think I'm gonna have it.
They're
For
probably as bad for you as anything right now.
I think I'm gonna be like chained up or something like that, like through like a year of withdrawals. I don't know. I think energy drinks, you gotta be careful. So stay away from those.
Absolutely. It's like cracking a can. You can't just give them up. I think it's
People probably think I'm on drugs when I was on it earlier. Years ago, I got grocery shopping. I got ready. I'm like moving, sweating. Like too much energy drink. So yeah, I'll do better. I probably won't do better until they run out of those energy drinks. Yeah,
you are an energy drink, Nicole. But I thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Nicole, always grateful for you coming and hanging out and joining me on a show and co-hosting with me, and Caleb and Stefan and all you got great people out there in the chat, and Laura, your mom. Big shout out to you and making sure everybody's fed on the set. And I know I have some things coming up. I got to do a review on this at some point. My buddy Lonnie McCollum did it. We got that. I gotta go through part through 7. Yeah,
Dead.
Predator here. Excuse me.
Good one.
Ooh.
Got a bunch of I got a bunch of stuff coming in. Getting that all the inventory lined up for this year's conventions. We got a lot in the store. Check out www.doomsdayskrypt.com. I'll be having my buddy Jason Pitts on soon. I got to get him scheduled. My buddy Austin Janowski, some other great writers, filmmakers as well. And we will see you soon. And until next time, peace out, guys. And stay safe.
Killer Corn group page on Facebook.
Killer Corn, guys. Check it out. We're going to drop the trailer in the Doomsday's Krypt group, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.